The Buzz with Jess Lujan.
We're back with my studio guest, Dr. Ron McNish from the University of Guam. Hey, Doc, so make light of this whole thing as you know, bystanders, outsiders looking in. And, you know, we know the public schools, but you know, University of Guam is a totally different animal from Guam public school system, right? But you know, you keep getting dragged into this. I mean, I'm reading what the union is saying and back and forth. I mean, what is happening?
Sure. Well, the thing I want to mention to the public again, if I had 5 children, all of them would be attending the university, and I think that the university's meeting its mission. I think that we have wonderful faculty there who are doing wonders with our students there in terms of their education and serving the community, helping the community through practical research and applied research, serving the community, and I think that that's the important point to remember. Whenever I talk about these things, that's the first point that I like to mention. We have great administrators there. Dr. Anita Enriquez, very competent. She was a dean in my school before she became a senior administrator, the senior vice president. We have great deans there who do a wonderful job. We have John Sanchez in education, or Marge Hattori in nursing. We have we have others too. I think that there's a lot of good things going on at the university. Part of this controversy that's current is kind of how certain faculty groups have approached this issue and paid attention or not paid attention to this issue, or maybe tried to cast this concern in a certain light at the university. And certainly the union wanted to cast this particular concern in a certain light. I tended to disagree with that view. I think that the university needs to develop policy. We need to have better ways of approaching things. I think that we need to really, as a major point, think about our students and those who might have been victimized in these kinds of cases. We need to really pay attention to how we handle those things and care for them. Also, how we communicate with parents in these processes. And but I got to tell you, any student who comes to me with any problem, you know, whether it's being abused by someone or anything else, I would immediately put them into the process to have the right attention paid to it. And it hasn't been that many. I've had some, but it hasn't been that many. And if you think about it, the university is a town of 4,000 people. And in any town of 4,000 people, there's going to be problems. And that's the reality. How we handle those problems, do we have a neighborhood watch program that deals with these things? Do we have citizens who are willing to stand up when the time is to stand up? Are we able to do that or not? And how do we lead? I have to tell you, faculty members, professors, whether they know it or not, or whether they practice it or not, they're leaders. They're community leaders. They're campus leaders. I'm a elected campus leader. I serve as a faculty senator. I have a campus role. I certainly take that role seriously. I take it.
An employee of the government of Guam.
And I have duties as an employee of the government of Guam. Every employee of the government of Guam has a duty to report criminal activity. That's very, very basic. And unfortunately, sometimes people don't like it when you do those things. But I think that in general, I have full faith and confidence that the university will do the right things, whether it's from the outside or inside, to do what's ever best. And I have to say, the call for the governor to have this looked into and to get all the facts straight on it in terms of what happened, when things happened, it's important. And I think that just shows that he takes this seriously, he takes the safety of students seriously, and that he's being a leader on this particular question.
And I'm actually glad that he did that, because and I'm not saying this is the institution, but there are a lot of institutions, not necessarily here, but back in the mainland and other institutions elsewhere, where it's called, well, that was the old boys club, and where they feel untouchable at this point, and we've always done things this way, and we have the honor system, we don't do this. I'm not saying that's what's happening over there, but it at times brings that perception when you come up to defend it, and rightfully so should be defended, but also likewise, and that's why I said you're not only a professor at the University of Guam, okay, but you're a public university, a land-grant university, you're an employee of the government of Guam. And so government of Guam, if again, what you say to your students, the people of Guam are your bosses, right? The leaders will say that these are your bosses out there, the taxpayers. Taxpayers are funding, are feeding you basically, you're teaching and they're feeding them. So you're held accountable to the public, and that's what we want to see. And I'm really glad again that the governor again is called for a thorough investigation and let the chips fall where they may. Because again, he said, as a father of young girls, okay, he said, yeah, if there was a perpetrator that would do anything to my daughters, I wouldn't be too kind. And I think that's I would say the same thing as well. You would say the same thing as well with that. Yeah.
No question. I think that our students in particular just need to be guided and nurtured and in a learning environment. And I think that that's important. But also I think that there's another side point to this. In some ways there has to be a point in any organization where what is past and we can only move forward.
That's right, that's right.
And so I think that we need to learn the lessons of that past, make the right remedies to correct whatever needs to be corrected, and then move forward. And by the way, I said earlier, I would like the rule or the law to say no dating between professors and students. I don't care if professors dated yesterday. If the rule is made, it's from that point forward, and I make no disparages.
It's not retroactive, like retroactive pay.
It's just simply, and there's a way to make this rule so that it can accommodate. Like if people are married, of course, that's different. But I think there's accommodations that can be made.
Well, I mean, and rules and regulations, laws have changed. I remember again, for maternity leaves, it used to be just the wife, the one giving birth, will have maternity leave. Now the husbands can take it as well. They have that. So it changes. It evolves. We have same-sex marriage now, all that. So things have changed. So when you look at your rules and regs, it was that it may be antiquated because at the time that it was imposed, that was in place, that was what fit the times. But it needs to be updated.
And there is an internal correction. I warn some of my peers about this. Now young people put everything on social media. These things can't happen in isolation anymore. They will get out. And the other thing is we just need to remember that we can make a difference and we can change this. And it's not making judgments, it's not trying to tell someone they were wrong for something that they might have done. And but I have to say that having a no dating policy between faculty and students, I think would make a difference, and it would help faculty to better place our students. And here's a key point. 80% of our students at the University of Guam are under 25 years old. Professors, on average, are 2 to 3 times older than the average student. So if a student's 18 and the professor's 36, they're 2 times older than them. The other thing is 3 out of 5 of our students, female students, undergraduate students, 3 out of 5 are female, and we have a lot of females running around. And so we just need to maybe adjust how we look at these things and base our policy upon the reality of facts. There's a reality of fact related to living on an island. That student in my classroom today is going to be somebody I'm going to see for the next 30 years. We don't move. We live here on the island. It's unlike I went to the Georgia State University. I have no idea where any of the people I went to school with are now today, because people move around. not on an island. We stay here. And if people have relationships, they're going to see that person over and over again, for years and years and years.
There we go.